Hey, welcome to episode 53 of my YouTube videos. My name is Sam, otherwise Betsy, as you can find me as Betsymakes here on YouTube, on Instagram and over in Ravelry as well. And I've got an online store called betsymakes.co.uk. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you're well and hope you're up for a little chat about all my crafty makes that I've got on the go and a couple of finished things as well. I'm coming to you from Bedford, UK, and it is the 9th of Feb 2020. The weather is really dull and grey and very windy. We've got a storm passing at the moment, although it's not raining, so I think we're getting away with it quite lightly. Although two of my fence panels have actually got damaged. One's fallen down completely, the other one looks like it's on its way. So yet another job to deal with. But anyway, that's fine. It's not so bad. But I did think it was a good afternoon to set up the camera and do a podcast, a chat to you, like I say, about my projects. I'll start with finished objects because I'm wearing my no-frill sweater. It's a knitted top-down sweater. Start at the neck, knit down. We've got the raglan increases there, increases out, divide for the sleeves and then knit down to the body. The modifications I've made is I've used a twisted rib, 1x1 twisted rib instead of just a normal rib that was in the pattern, which is really pretty. See, that's so nice. And can you see the deliberate mistake there? I needed to, for the size I was making, once I did the sleeve decreases, I needed to reduce my stitches to 50, and I was using the magic loop method of knitting the sleeves. That meant I had 25 stitches on the front needle and 25 on the back. And I did knit one through the back loop, purl one, knit one through the back loop, purl one, so on and so forth. And I did that on both needles, but because there's an odd number, I should have started the second needle with a purl, and then, but I didn't. I started it with a knit through the back loop. So that means I've got a bit close together there. There's a purl stitch missing. But I did make the same mistake deliberately on the other sleeve. So it's fine. It's a feature. I did lengthen the body by a few centimetres and shorten the sleeves by a few centimetres, not a lot actually. They are full length sleeves and I do like them to be fairly long as they are. I quite like, either I'm going to go for a 3/4 length sleeve or I'm going to go for one that comes just over my hand a bit so I can push it up. So that's perfect. I was concerned when I was making this that the armhole was a bit deep. And I thought it might not work, but actually because it's slightly oversized, it's not massive, but it is slightly oversized, I think it's perfect just the way it is. So I know you can't see a lot. It's a very plain sweater with, yeah, you can't see a great deal, but it is just plain stocking stitch sweater, and I absolutely love it. It's turned out so well. I love the fit of it. I love the look of it, the feel of it. It's 100% alpaca. It's gorgeous. It's this Adriaphil Sierra Andina yarn, which is made in Italy, and its colour. Have I got a colour on here? Thought I did. Oh yes. Colour 25 or 31. You probably can see that better than I can because I haven't got my glasses on. It's a beautiful pale heathered grey and it's lovely. It's really beautiful. So I did buy 10 50-gram balls from the Ethel & M shop in Lancaster, which was, it's a fantastic shop. I follow the account on Instagram, and I don't live anywhere near Lancaster, UK. It's quite a long way away from me. But I do follow the account on Instagram, and it looks like they're always having knit nights and special events, and it looks very social, and it's a fab shop. I really enjoyed my visit there. I went on the first day and the second day I was up there. So, and I bought this because my lovely friend Natalie had gifted me the pattern for my birthday, which was really kind of her. And yeah, because I was up in Lancaster for my birthday, so I bought the yarn to make the jumper. And it may have taken me a little while to finish it, but it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'm so delighted with this. I think I was I have expressed in previous podcasts that sometimes it's frustrating knitting or crocheting a garment because you don't really know what it's going to be like until you've finished it. If you buy something in the store, you can try it on and you can see if it fits well and if the colour suits and if the fit of it suits. Whereas you can't do that until you finish the garment, and by that point, if you're making it, you've put in a lot of time and effort in. So it can be a little bit frustrating if something that you've made and spent a lot of time on then isn't quite right, but it's not the case with this. I absolutely love it. You can't go wrong. Actually, I think somebody's just put that on my post because I posted this on a picture of this on Instagram. Somebody put you can't go wrong with a pale grey sweater. So yeah, I'm really, really happy. It's lovely and warm. I'm quite warm sitting here actually. I just think it's beautiful. It's so soft. I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it. I think I was slightly off gauge. I'm quite a loose knitter. I was slightly off, but not a great deal, and it wasn't enough for it to be problematic with the fit of this because it is meant to be a bit loose and oversized. My lips are dry as usual. I do get really dry lips. Put some Vaseline on. So yeah, I am really happy to have finished this. I think I want to keep it as quite a special jumper because the beautiful alpaca yarn and it's just so lovely. But I think I will wear it quite a lot because it's just a classic piece really. So yeah, totally delighted with that. My next finished object, excuse me, I'll just reach over and get the project bag it was in. Now, let me see if I can put this on without looking a complete fool. So this is, God, I'm such an idiot. This is the Pulapa hat. Let me get the pattern. I pronounced that right. Pulapa hat by Raina Kraus or Cross. I printed out on yellow paper, and it's two colour Fair Isle hat with the Pulapa flies on it. It's flies, but I always think it looks like bees, which I think the general consensus is it looks like bees. Well, I'm really hot sitting here with all this knitted stuff on. Let me turn around and show you the pom-pom on the back. Hopefully you can see that okay. Oh gosh, I hope that's not the thumbnail that YouTube uses. But yeah, this is fabulous as well. I'm really pleased with this. I wanted to just practice really the whole Fair Isle two colour knitting, the technique, and this was a great thing to practice on, and I'm delighted with how it's come out. Take it off because I'm boiling. Yeah. It's got a nice start off in the darker brown, and then the gold and the flies are in the brown as well. And then I did the pom-pom, oh it needs a bit of a trim there, in the two colours. I use my pom-pom maker, just like it's a plastic moulded thing and you wrap it round, just wrap the two colours. When I was attaching the pom-pom to the hat though, I found I was pulling a tight knot and I found that the yarn did snap. So I've actually used some Stylecraft special brown yarn to attach it, and I've forgotten to do my ends. So that's still in there. I'll weave those in, but it's just simply because it was stronger, because the yarn was just snapping. because I was pulling it quite tight. Talking of the yarn, it is the Jamieson and Smith, and it's the 2-ply jumper weight. Okay. And this shade is FC44 mix. I'll show you that one there. And I think the mix is because it's quite heathered, isn't it? Which is lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And then the other one is shade FC45. And it's the sort of caramelly gold colour. I've got a little bit of those, a little bit of that left. In fact, that's a complete. I did buy extra. It said, the pattern said 2 of the gold and 1 of the brown, because this is the recommended yarn and the recommended yarn and the colour that was in the sample. And I did buy extra, but I didn't need it, so pattern quantities are correct. But yeah, I am delighted with this. I like the way, you can't see it as much, but I like the way it all goes in at the crown there. Pom-pom is optional. But yeah, that's really, really nice. I think it would be nice and warm. I'm not really a hat person. I don't think they suit me that much, actually. But I do like this, and I think it looks okay on, as long as I've got my hair forward and not all pushed back. So yeah, 2 projects finished. Fab. So I spoke about my flower shock socks last time I recorded, and that I had the second sock syndrome. A couple of people have commented saying that the sock was lonely and needed its partner, and lovely Ali from the Little Drops of Wonderful podcast suggested that I knit the second sock, wrap it up and gift it to myself next Christmas, because they were my Christmas Eve cast on, and they're Christmas themed coloured yarns. So I think that's a blooming good idea. So I have actually cast on the second sock, but I've only really done the rib on it, so I won't show them this time. I'll wait till I've completed the second sock. You're gonna have to excuse me, I'm distracted. I've got loads of Instagram notifications keep coming down on my phone. I thought if you put it on airplane mode you wouldn't get that, but obviously you still do, because it is on airplane mode. Anyway, I will show you now a new cast on. I feel I want to, while I really enjoy making things for myself, and I love the fact that I've got quite a large handmade wardrobe, I do feel at the moment that I need to make some things for other people. So my eldest daughter Sophie, she said she wants some yellow socks. So I've got those in mind to start soon, but also Frances, who is my youngest children's grandmother, it's her birthday at the end of April, and she's very knit worthy. She's a lovely lady, and she's very kind and very supportive and helpful to me. So I thought I'm going to knit her a present, and I'm going to start early so I've got plenty of time. I initially thought I would knit her a shawl, a lace weight shawl, but then I thought, you know what, actually I think she would prefer scarf, because I think she just prefers to wear scarf. So I had some yarn in mind. Now I don't actually know what this yarn is. It was a gift to me from the lovely Sonia. I've got 2 balls of it. It's lace weight. So lovely. It's coming up fairly bright on the camera, but it's actually quite a nice dusky pink. And she gifted me this a little while ago, but she gifted two skeins of this already wound up, and I just thought it would make a really pretty scarf or shawl. I found, once I decided to do a scarf as opposed to a shawl, I found this free pattern on Ravelry called Feather and Fan Short Scarf. So there's the picture, and the classic feather and fan pattern. And It's by Kelly Fowler, whose Ravelry name is Firefly, and it's fireflyknit.blogspot.com. This was actually published in 2009. But like I say, it's a classic design, and I thought it would be ideal to make. So I'll show you where I'm up to. I'm using these lovely symphony knitting needles. I don't often knit with straight needles. Just put them like that so you can see. They're lovely, really nice. Let me show you first how far. So I've only just started this a couple of days ago, so I haven't done a great deal, although it's not too bad. Good start. Because it's lace weight, I did think that it may be really slow going, but it's not as slow as I feared. It knits up not super duper fast, but fairly fast because it's loose gauge, which gives it such a light, airy feel. And I have to say that this yarn knitted, I mean, I think it's lovely in this form, but as it's knitted up, the fabric it makes is beautiful. So soft and lovely. Yeah, her birthday's the end of April, so that's going to be quite a nice time of year for a lightweight scarf, because it still could be a little bit nippy here and there. It's not going to be really, really cold, I wouldn't have thought. So yeah, it's a simple pattern. It's free as well, by the way. It's a free pattern. You know, the first row is the lace work, and then 3 rows of pearl knit pearl. No, 1 row pearl, 1 row knit, 1 pearl. I can talk about it because it's free. So yeah, it's pretty, isn't it? I haven't actually knit with lace weight yarn before, apart from a scarf that I started fairly recently that's hadn't had any tension for a bit, where I'm using some of my mohair lace. I'm scratching actually. I'm wondering if this jumper is a bit itchy now, but I'm feeling hot. Anyway, but this is the first sort of fully lace weight thing that I'm making. But it took me about 6 attempts to get started. I started off with cable needles, and the recommended size is a 5mm. But as I said earlier, I do have quite a loose gauge when it comes to knitting. Anyway, I cast on the number of stitches and knit the first row, which, as I said, is the lace row, and it didn't work out. I thought, oh, have I cast on the wrong number of stitches? But I counted them, they were correct, but something went wrong. So I undid that, did it again, made the same mistake again. Now, it was 4 AM in the morning, because sometimes, just lately, I've had trouble sleeping, and I sort of get up, go for a wee and have some water, but if I can't get back to sleep straight away, I do sometimes pick up some knitting to do, see if it can help me relax. But obviously this wasn't the case, because I kept getting it wrong. Anyway, I left it. I did go back to sleep. And when I picked it up again, the cable needle I was using, the tip came away from the cable, so that needs gluing. Also, it was a metal needle, and it was just too slippery. It was just slipping all over the place. Plus, I did the long tail cast on method, which I use for socks, and it was really messy and all loopy at the bottom. And the gauge was really, really loose. And now I know it's supposed to be quite loose because it's supposed to be light and airy, but it just seemed too loose to me. So I thought, I need to rethink this, because I think it's going to be lovely, but it's just not working out. So I purchased some straight needles, wooden. These are quite smooth, actually. They're not particularly grabby at all, but they're not quite as slippery as the metal ones I've been using. Also, they're a 4.5mm. I don't know if that's focusing on actually. Anyway, trust me, they're 4.5mm. And I did the cable cast on method, which is a lot neater. It's not particularly stretchy though, that's the thing. But I think with blocking that'll be much nicer than the loopy effect I was getting with the long tail cast on. And also I concentrated and read the pattern correctly, because that's where I went wrong to start with. I just read it slightly wrong, and so it didn't work out. So once I'd overcome those hurdles, I was off, and it's beautiful. I love it. It's really pretty, and I think she'll love it. I hope she will anyway. But yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? It's so pretty. It's a really nice colour. Thank you, Sonia, for gifting this to me. You're a lovely friend. It's really kind. There's a little progress keeper attached to this as well. Ball of yarn and knitted needles. So I'll probably use that at some point. But yeah, so this needs to be finished by the end of April, so I've got a little bit of time, so hopefully I should do it. I think it's one of those things. I thought it was going to be a bit more tricky actually, but already I've got into the groove and I don't need to look at the pattern for the lace row. I do remember it. Like I say, it is simple, but very, very effective. So yeah, happy with that. So yeah, that's a new cast on, and as I said, Sophie wants some yellow socks, so I will cast her a pair of socks on once I finish the flower sock shock. No, flower shock socks, the second one. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. So so yeah, that's what I'm up to at the moment. Pardon me. I will show you something that Frances bought for me actually. Well, it's kind of a little present she bought for me, but it's partly for my little poppet as well. Did you hear my stomach rumbling then? Sorry. Yeah, my little girl. It's kind of a joint present. I'll show you what I mean. So she bought this from John Lewis. It's a book called Sewing Clothes for Barbie. Ooh. My little girl loves Barbie. She's got a massive Barbie house that she got for Christmas, and it's in her bedroom. Takes up, her bedroom's tiny, so it takes up like a third of it really. But yeah, she does love Barbie, and she's got a lot of Barbies. And as Frances says, there is a gap in the market because there isn't a lot of opportunity to buy just the clothes. Mostly you have to buy another doll, and you know there's just so many plastic dolls in my house. So she thought this was a good idea. It's a book written by Annabelle Benilan. I'll show you again. And I've just opened it at this page. I think this is a great outfit. I like that. I haven't got any of that yellow. What do you need? Is that just the jumper? Oh no, yellow plastic coated cotton poplin for the, and then for the trousers. I'll show you some others as well. But she only gave this to me yesterday, so I haven't had a proper look at it actually. It's a pretty summery dress there. And nice outfit for a picnic. So yeah, it's a great book. The patterns, I think you must have to, yeah, you must have to trace the patterns off. And the sizing, it does say, it made me laugh actually. Hold on. Where does it say? The patterns is colour coded for size, like real dressmaking patterns. The orange is petite, violet is the original, pink is curvy, green is tall, and black is the same size for all Barbies. Because you can get different size Barbies. You can get the ones with the fuller figure as well. But yeah, so it's fabulous. You know, that's, I'll show you this one as well. That's how I started to sew. I didn't have Barbies though, I had Cindy's. and I used to make clothes for them. I probably used sellotape. Actually no, I do remember using a needle and thread. And I used to make things, but I wasn't very good at fastening, so I kind of used to sew them on the doll and then have to rip them off, sort of thing. But yeah, so she looks very... Yeah, so anyway, Francis got this from John Lewis, but it is by Search Press, and I know they have a website, so if it's something you wanted to get, you could look on there, I guess. But yeah, I haven't shown little Lena. We decided not to show her just yet, because she'll want something made immediately, and I don't really have the time at the moment, but I've got some time off work in half term. The schools here in the UK have a week off in February for half term. So I thought I'll show her then, and she can choose which outfit she likes and she wants me to make. I bet you any... Oh, it's got a bikini. I bet you any money she'll want that one. Party dress. Or there's a wedding dress in here as well. Yeah, so she can choose one and I'll make it for her. And I'm a bit nervous because it's tiny, tiny, tiny sewing, isn't it? But I'll see how I get on and I'll report back. But that was a nice little gift for me and little Lena. And yeah, I'll get her to choose which one she wants and see if I can make that. Won't need much fabric though, so I can use the scraps I've got already. So that's all for my projects, my current projects on the go. Yeah, I've mentioned the shawl and socks that are kind of languishing in bags at the moment, but I will show you them when I get round to finishing them or do a bit more work on them. I do want to announce my winners for the giveaway I've been running in my Ravelry group, which is closed now. I set a prompt of describing an act of kindness that you've carried out, and as usual you've all come good, and there's some fantastic little stories in there about kind things that you've done, and there was 57 entries altogether, so I used the random number generator online to choose 4 winners. So I've got 4 prizes that are one's from me and the other 3 are donated by lovely other people. So I'll go through. The first prize is actually some Betsymakes yarn, some of my own yarn from my shop, and it's going to be donated by Caroline, and the idea is that the winner chooses the yarn and then we send it to them. So yeah, the winner can have a look and then we'll get that organised. And the winner is, I couldn't believe this, but the winner is Amelia, my friend, lovely Amelia, who lives over in the US. Now I have met her and we do message each other, and we've even had an Instagram knit night along with Sandra, my friend Sandra as well. But please believe me that it was an absolute coincidence. I set up the number generator on the computer and little Lena pressed the buttons, and the very first one that came up was number 18, and that was Amelia's post. So even though she's my friend, it's not fixed, I promise you, it was genuine, and she really does deserve a little prize. She deserves that. So Amelia, my lovely friend, if you could have a look in the shop and let me know which skein you want, and Caroline will, I've been in contact, a message from her has popped up on my phone as I've been recording as well, and we'll get that sorted out and sent over to you. So that's fantastic. Okay, so the second prize is from me. Let me just get it. It's a stalwart bag, so it's a project bag with a lovely dotty lining and pockets in there as well, and some minis. So they'll go in there, and it's a drawstring, so you can have it drawn up like that. And it's a great bag. It's canvas. It's lovely blue colour, and it's great for sticking your pins if you collect enamel pins. It's a good type of bag for that sort of thing. So that's good. And the winner of that is Christina Duarte, who oh, I meant to say actually, Amelia, the act of kindness was to buy a coffee and a donut. She was going through the drive-through and she was buying herself a coffee and a donut, and she paid for the order of the car behind her, who she didn't know at all. She just paid for it, and yeah, have a lovely day. So that was lovely. Christina, who's won this prize, knits for Prem babies. So that's lovely for her to do, spend her free time knitting for a really good cause. And I think she's over in Portugal actually. So that will be sent over to you, Christina. Put that there for now, put that over there actually. The third prize I don't have with me. It's actually, so this little bear is from Paula, who's stitched by Mrs. D. I have shown Little Daffodil before on the podcast. Now this one is mine. Little Daffodil is mine. She's so gorgeous. Look how sweet she is. Oh, isn't she sweet? But she's got a sister called Snowdrop, and Snowdrop is still with Paula, but will be sent to Maria, who's Seductive Barry. And I've seen a notification come up from her on my phone when I've been recording as well. So, hey, it's all just one big lovely party here. But she also bought somebody a coffee when she was in the queue at Starbucks and paid for it for the car behind. So that's another lovely thing. And that's quite nice actually, because you think, oh, I'm going to treat myself, but I'll pay for the order behind as well. So if you could get in contact with me and let me know, this is for all the winners actually, let me know your postal address and I will send over Snowdrop, who's Daffodil's sister. So a similar little bear, close relative. So that's lovely. And the fourth prize is this gorgeous, 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 gorgeous project bag. It's lovely fabric. It goes nice with my jumper actually, doesn't it? It's got the lanyard type handle, beautiful red print lining, and I'll tell you what's really, really nice about this. It's got the musical instruments, the pockets, and they're stitched. So there's some narrow pocket sections that can be used for your needles. This was kindly donated by Treka, and she's the Cotton Stash on Etsy. She's got an Etsy shop, so I will show you the card. I'll hold it that way around. The Cotton Stash, and there's a little progress keeper of a little vintage sewing machine there. So that's really nice, and that will go in the bag. So that's another prize. Treka uses these same zips as I do for my bags. They're nice and firm. They're just a bit more zips that you use for dressmaking, like skirts and dresses. I use those for the notion pouches, but for the bigger bags I do like these chunkier zips. They look really nice, and she uses the same ones. It's beautiful, this bag. It's massive. Look, it's perfect for a jumper project. Let me tell you who's won that. It's Nina Camilleri, and she crochets items for Knit for Peace. So, and she was entry number 24. So yeah, everybody, can you get in touch with me and let me know your postal addresses so I can ship these prizes out to you. I will, if I haven't heard from you by next weekend, I will send a message over. But I'll leave it for you guys to get in touch with me if you see this podcast before then. Thank you to Paula, Caroline and Treka for donating prizes as well. And Treka made this bag for me. She said I could keep one and I couldn't resist. I'm so into houseplants at the moment. There's one of my latest ones up here. This one, it feels gorgeous. I bought that one from Aldi. $3.99 with the pot included. It was beautiful. So when she said I could choose one, I thought, well, I do like the grey one because I like grey things, but I couldn't resist this one with all the house plants on. This is lined in a lovely bright blue. It's got pockets as well. So yeah, I've got a lovely handwritten letter. Oh, lovely handwritten note in there as well. So thank you so much, because I've been treated as well with a few little things, and just absolutely delighted and bowled over. So thank you so much for leaving your comments, for the prize donations, and just thank you all for being so lovely. It's a pleasure to read threads like that, because they describe lots of people who are poorly, can even, you know, that they've got long-term illnesses and conditions, but they still find ways to be kind to others, and it just warms my heart to read all that. So that's brilliant. Thank you so much. So that's pretty much everything in regards to my projects and the giveaway. So I will just talk a bit about Betsy business, and it does cross over into a bit of personal stuff as well. So I'm just looking out the window. The rain is absolutely pelting it down now. It's a miserable day. Yeah, it's about my Betsy business. So I have an online shop where I sew project bags and dye yarn and sell that. My business also includes designing patterns that I publish on Ravelry and Love Crafts, and you know, I do these videos on YouTube as well. But I've had to increase my hours at work. I work as a registrar for the council, and until recently I was working 3 days a week plus alternate Saturdays, and I've increased to full time, so I'm 5 days a week. And whilst I don't have to do quite as many Saturdays as that, I still have to do some Saturdays, because that's wedding days, isn't it? And they need the staff. Now the reason I've done this is because unfortunately me and my husband are divorcing. I feel really quite uncomfortable about talking about this, because I am aware that a lot of people are going to watch this, but I just feel like I need to explain that, because I've increased my hours at work, which has meant that I'll be able to take the mortgage on myself, and sort out all the financial ins and outs of the separation. It does reduce the time I've got. So it does mean that Betsy business will suffer a bit, unfortunately, which is really sad, because I did dream and fantasize about sitting here and saying that I was going to finish working my office job and do my Betsy business full time and dye yarn and sell at all the yarn festivals that go on. There's so many that you can go to. That's not meant to be, and it's okay. It is okay, because life is what it is, and I wasn't really expecting to be here telling you this now, but I am, and it's all right. It's fine. But I just simply can't do it all. I'd love to do it all. I like being busy, I like doing lots of stuff, but I just won't have the time, because when I was sewing bags and dyeing yarn was the 2 days of the week that I wasn't in the office, because obviously I've got the family to look after as well, and the house. So yeah, I won't be doing as much as that. And in fact, for a little while I won't be doing any of it. I do intend to still do these videos and be here on YouTube. I have added adverts on, as you probably have noticed actually. Feel free to skip them or let them run, whatever. It's a little bit of income generation. It's not a great deal, but it's a little bit. Every little helps. I've also got a buy me a coffee button that you'll see pop up here and there. So it's just a way of me saying, look, if you want to give me a couple of quid to support me in my creative endeavour, it's welcome, but please don't feel you have to. You really don't have to. If you want to, I appreciate it, but you don't have to, and you're welcome here anyway. But I will put the coffee button up and you'll see it here and there. And, you know, if I do some free patterns and things like that, it's a way of, you know, some people do like to give a bit back in monetary terms. I know money is a really emotive subject and it can be difficult to talk about, but, you know, hey, we all need it, don't we? I do intend to still do pattern designs, and some will be free, some will be paid for patterns, as I've done up till now anyway, because, you know, I can't survive without my creative endeavours. Being able to make things either by sewing, knitting or crochet is so intrinsically part of me that I would go as far as saying is I need it as much as I need food and water. That sounds really dramatic, doesn't it? Oh, but it's just within me. There's so many made goods around my house, and I couldn't survive. But, you know, that's something I am able to continue doing. I'm, you know, I can sit and knit in the evenings or crochet. And of course there's weekends, so like it's not that bad. It's really not that bad at all. It's just a bit different. And I just wanted to say, because I did open up my own store, the betsymakes.co.uk, and I have to decide whether it's worth continuing running that, because if I'm not going to be producing the items to have up for sale, it's not really worth paying for the site. My Etsy shop, which I started on, is always there. It's in holiday mode at the moment, but the difference between having your own website and Etsy is that Etsy, you don't pay just to have it. If nothing sells, you don't pay anything. You just pay when something sells. The reason I mention that is because part of me would still like to do the special occasion sets. I'm referring to just before Christmas, well no, it was July last year, I sold some 12 days of Christmas sets, which, thank you if you purchased one. I'll put a picture of what they looked like. It was a combination of project bags and mini skeins of yarn. So, and that was around Christmas time, and part of me would like to perhaps do that a couple of times a year, but I'm not sure. I want to keep the door open, see how I get on. I've only been working full time for 1 week, so I just want to see how my routine pans out, and I don't want to completely bail from everything. So yeah, that's something that I'm considering doing, just perhaps at Christmas and summer do you know, a set of something that people can pre-order. We'll see about that, but yeah, the idea is there. So it keeps my hand in, but I just won't have time to do regular shop updates, because I just won't have time to make the bags or really even dye the yarn. And part of me thinks if I'm going to do it, I've got to just do it properly or not at all. So I can't there's been so much going on in my personal life, I can't make a major decision anymore. It's just like, you know, there's enough going on. So that's where I stand. I'm not here for sympathy, by the way. I just want to explain where I am. I'll still be on Instagram, can't not be on Instagram, can't not do that. And I just still love taking pictures, so I'll still be on Instagram taking photos of anything that catches my eye and I think is pretty. and share that with you. So I'm not going anywhere really. I just won't be making project bags, sewing project bags and dyeing yarn to the extent I was doing before. So yeah, that is what it is, and everything's fine. Like I said, I'm not here for sympathy. Please don't think I am. I just want to explain. It's all okay. I have had lots of messages from support, because if you follow me on Instagram, I did post about this yesterday. So I have had lots of supportive messages, which is really nice. I can assure you, is that the right word, that the children are fine. They understand, and you know, both me and Matt, we've got their best interests at heart, and we will always put them first. So they're fine, they're okay, and they will continue to have a good relationship with both their mum and their dad. But, you know, sometimes when you've got, you know, we're a couple wanting very, very different things in life, which can or has caused tension, frustration and resentment, which is quite toxic and unhealthy. So it's time to just be honest and say, you know, let's go our separate ways, still be mum and dad, but not husband and wife. I suppose that's really what this is about. So anyway, it's quite hard really, saying that. I feel like I'm at the counsellor. I went to see a counsellor a little while back in the summer when things weren't easy. Not that they're that easy now, but they're better. No, they're fine. It's all good, it's fine. I don't feel that, you know, it's that bad, because you look around the world and you can see awful things that happen in the world. You know, the fires in Australia, the coronavirus that's started in China and is spreading across the world. People are dying and people are suffering, and you know, that's where my heart goes out to. You know, I'm all right, he's all right, kids are all right, we're all right. So yeah, I feel rather silly now, and I'm probably going to have a really big podcast hangover after this. But anyway, at least it means that, you know, it is what it is and life goes on, and you all know where I stand, and you're all lovely and I love you. I'm going to shut up now. I'll see you soon. See you next time. Bye.
Catch up and crochet. Come in, let's catch up and crochet.